What's it gonna be? 'Cause I can't pretend. Don't you wanna be more than friends? Hold me tight and don't let go.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Cavell. It's been a hot minute since I recorded a video, but I thought that now would be the best time since I'm embarking on a new journey, and you can tell by the title already that I decided to get a breast augmentation. So I told myself that I'm gonna be just vlogging my experience and taking you guys along with me. Why am I sitting on the floor, you may ask? I'm just doing a bit of packing, so I figured now would be a good time to show you some of the things that I purchased. Okay, so before I get into like where I'm going to get my surgery and all of that good stuff, I thought I'd just start with like why I'm getting a breast augmentation. So to be quite honest, I've always wanted bigger boobs ever since like I was a little kid, and I know everybody's gonna say the same thing, but for me, I grew up in a house with like 6 cousins or like 5 cousins and my sister, and to be quite honest, everybody except for like me and one of my cousins, Sabrina, sorry to throw you under the bus, me and Sabrina probably had like the smallest boobs out of all of us. But I've always wanted to have like bigger breasts. My mom has larger breasts, but for some reason it didn't like pass down to me, or whatever the deal might be. So I'll give you guys a little story. Like when we were younger, like me and one of my cousins, Kelly, we decided to rub onion on our breasts because we were told that if you put onion on your breasts, it will grow your breasts. So we cut the onion, we rubbed it on our breasts, and we did this for quite a little bit, but did my breasts grow? No, it did not. So
Emotional, damn it.
That's how desperately I wanted to have bigger boobs. Anyways, and at that point I was probably like, I think like 11 or 12. So from there, like honestly, I thought about it multiple times, but as I got older, I just wanted to just have kids first. Now I have 2 kids. My son is 7, about to be 8 in March, and my daughter is 9. So I'm not really planning on having more kids, so I thought that now would be the best time. While I was pregnant, my breasts got bigger, and honestly, I'll try to insert a photo like here so you can even get a glimpse of what they look like. And I got pregnant like fairly quickly with like my son after my daughter was born. I think my daughter was like 1 when I got pregnant with my son. So I was breastfeeding my daughter probably for like about 6 months. It wasn't a lot of milk, so kind of stopped. And then I got pregnant with my son, and my breast grew. My son was breastfed for a little bit longer, and then by the time that finished, my breast totally deflated, like pancakes deflated. Not even pancakes, they just were just dry, just really did nothing. Like I was really self-conscious about like how they looked, so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go get my breasts done. Well, I've always been like looking at like different like plastic surgery places online, but in 2020 I found like CG Cosmetics, and I reached out to them. I got a quote for getting my breasts done, but at the time my son was only like 2 years old, or like 1.5. So I was just like, I'm still picking him up, I'm still doing like all my motherly duties, so I just didn't think that that was the right time to decide to go do my breasts. So I waited. I honestly, my coordinator, Joanna, shout out to her, she's probably like totally annoyed with me because every once in a while, especially when they had promotions, I'd reach out to her, I'd have her send me the credit card authorization form, and then I just never went through with it. I would say a lot goes into like deciding to get your breasts done, because I have to get like somebody to watch my kids for the time frame that I'm away, as well as like finances, somewhere to stay, somebody to go with me on this trip. Luckily I have my friend Toya that's deciding to come with me, so at the time it just wasn't feasible, it just wasn't working. So I figured now would be the best time to just get this done and out of the way. The place that I'm going to be going to get my breasts done, it's CG Cosmetics in Coral Gables in Florida. So I paid my money back in December, and I scheduled my surgery for February 20. So in the meantime, I had to get like a lot of blood work done. I even had a mammogram done, and oh my god, a mammogram really hurts. And I'm like, if a mammogram hurts, what's gonna happen when I get my breasts done? But anyway, so I got all my blood work done. I actually have to meet with my family physician tomorrow and then go over my labs. and then they're gonna forward that on to CG Cosmetics, and hopefully everything is fine with those. I'm pretty sure one of the things I'm gonna hear is that my iron is low. My iron has always been low, so I'm gonna just rush, go get some iron tablets and maybe start taking those just in case I may have to like redo my blood work. And what else am I forgetting? So I get into Florida on Wednesday the 18th. My pre-op appointment is on February 19th, and then the surgery is scheduled for the 20th. Hopefully all goes well there. And then the following the Monday is when I have my post-op. So now I'm going to get into some of the things that I purchased in preparation for my surgery. The first thing I have some compression socks that I purchased on Amazon. So that's going to help with like blood circulation, all that stuff. I said my iron was low, or I'm thinking that's what my doctor's going to tell me. So anything to help my blood circulate a little bit better, no blood clots. Jamaican style. I also purchased this breast wrap. I don't even know if I'm really going to need it. Okay, so that's the breast wrap that I purchased from Amazon as well. I don't know if I'm really going to need it, but that was something that I just decided to get. I also purchased some bras from Amazon as well, and I'll show you what they look like. And they came in like 4, so hold on. This is what they look like. Hopefully these ones are fine. If not, I can always purchase my bras there. They're like, I think like $25, so I can purchase it from them. A few other things that I just got some wipes, because there's a possibility that I won't be able to shower the first day. I also got some antibiotic soap. I just have it in a Ziploc bag because honestly I don't really like the way it would smell. But if you're Jamaican, trusty Dettol. You can't go wrong with Dettol. So I got me an antibacterial Dettol soap. They recommended Dial, but I just really didn't go searching for Dial, and I was at my local Caribbean store, so I just decided to get that. So that's really it in terms of like the things that I purchased. I'll link the bras that I got in the description bar down below on Amazon where I got them. And then just a few other things that I got. I just got some sleepwear from Shein, just to be a little bit comfortable. They told you to just have like button down things instead of things that go over your head, so just to make it a little bit easier for you in terms of getting dressed. So I got like 2 of those. Also, I don't even know how I forgot, so I also purchased a little neck pillow. It's very compressed right now, so this I also got from Amazon, and I will also link that down below. It takes about like 10-15 minutes, and then it just kind of puffs up. So I'm like a stomach side sleeper, and I'm gonna have to sleep on my back for the next little bit, so hopefully this can help to kind of keep me like upright. And I don't know, I'm just trying to be a little bit more comfortable, so hopefully this can help me some way, somehow. So this is what I purchased from Amazon, and that I will also link down below. And honestly, on the day of surgery, I'm gonna be a total bum. I'm just gonna wear some sweatpants with a hoodie, a zip-up hoodie, just so that's easier to take off and on. And then for everything else, in terms of like my prescription, and then I think you can purchase like arnica gel and like muscle relaxants, all that, those good stuff. I'll get those once I get to Florida. And to be honest, I don't even know what's going on. I'm a little bit under the weather. I literally, my throat is like very itchy, my nose is a bit runny, and I'm like stuffy in one of my nostrils. I'm just hoping this goes away by next week. Again, my surgery is on next Friday, and today it's February 10th, so I literally have 10 days to get rid of this cold, because there's still some things that I have to do. Once I get to my pre-op, I have to do so a drug test. I have to do my medical clearance there, as well as a pregnancy test, COVID test, flu tests. So I definitely have to do all of those. So I'm just hoping everything on that side goes well. I think like one thing a lot of people don't talk about, and I'm obviously community guidelines, all that stuff, I don't really want to be talking about like drugs or anything like that, but I am a chronic marijuana smoker, and I've been smoking probably since I was maybe like 19, 18. And obviously when I was pregnant, I did stop smoking, but once I stopped breastfeeding, I was right back to just smoking again. So for me, I stopped smoking on January 23rd, and so it's been about like 21, 22 days, somewhere in that range. And I went ahead and I purchased some like THC like drug test kits on Amazon just to kind of test myself and see if I'm testing positive or not, because that could be a reason why a surgery gets canceled. So I didn't want to be at risk for having that happen after paying all my money. For the test, it's supposed to be 2 lines to indicate like negative, and if there's 1 line, then it would be positive. And to be quite honest, up until about like last week, I was getting like complete positive tests. And then at one point I thought it wasn't working, so I tested my son, and just recently, like the past like 3 or 4 days when I tested, I'm getting double lines, but the second line is like super faint, like the faintest line. I'm gonna try to put it up on the screen so you may not even be able to see the line, but it's somewhat there, or maybe I'm just delusional. But that's something that has me a little bit nervous, but again, hopefully everything goes well with that. So if you are a smoker and you've been smoking for a very long time, I would recommend trying to quit at least a month or 2 ahead, so that way you don't have to stress out and go through like what I'm going through. So I'm going to CG Cosmetics in Coral Gables, Florida. That's where I'm getting my breasts done. And Dr. Honsaker is who's going to be performing my breast augmentation. So I'm Canadian, so I'm going to be flying in from Canada into Florida. The blood work that I did here, the mammogram, those were all free because that's covered by my Ontario provincial health insurance. So I didn't really have to pay anything. There was one of the tests that I had to pay, I think like $18, because that one wasn't covered by OHIP. And I think it's, I'll put the name of that test on the screen because that's the only one I had to pay for. Okay, so in terms of cost, so the surgery, so that's pre-op, post-op, the actual surgery, and the anesthesiologist, all that good stuff. It's about, I think it was like $3,600. And for my Airbnb that I'm going to be staying at, that is $1,140. The cost of my flight, one of my friends, they work for Porta Airlines, so I was able to get like a 50% discount code, so I paid like $387 for my flight. What else in terms of cost? And then in terms of like the little tidbits that I got for my surgery, I can link those down below in terms of the cost, and everything else I'll purchase once I get to Florida. I'm gonna come back and update you guys on my way to Miami, and just as much as I can throughout this process. And in no way am I trying to promote plastic surgery. If you want to do it, great. Do your research. Do your research. I've been researching this place for a very long time. One of my cousins went to this particular place, as well as I know 2 additional females that went to the same location. So hopefully all goes well. So I think that's it in terms of like everything. If I forget anything, or if you have any questions, just leave them down below in the comment section, and I'll do my best to try to answer those. And to be honest, I'm gonna try to vlog a little bit more and try to be a little more consistent. I say this all the time, and then I trail off somewhere and nobody hears about me for like the longest time. Also, if you have not subscribed to my channel, now will be a good time to do so, as I'm definitely planning to post a lot more content. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.